Good morning, and thank you for being with us today. Another cold day, but happy to have so many great folks on the phone. We're very excited about the briefing today. My name is Brian Gregory. I'm the Vice President of State Government Affairs over at Charter Communications and also the current NC Tech Board Chair. I've had the pleasure of serving the last few years, and in just a couple weeks, February 12th at Outlook for Tech, I'll be passing the gavel to Joan Snemo of Rail Inc., and she'll assume the board chair at that time. Of course, will remain on the executive committee as immediate past chair. On behalf of our board of directors, I want to thank each of you for your leadership, your investment, and your continued commitment to NC Tech. This association exists because of your engagement and your belief in the important role technology plays in North Carolina's economy and communities. Today's leadership briefing is an important opportunity for us to come together as one leadership body to reflect on where we've been, align on where we're going, and talk about how we can best support the work ahead. It's great to see so many of our leaders on the line as we officially kick off this new briefing series designed to keep our board of directors and board of advisors closely connected to the work, impact, and direction of the association. These briefings are part of our commitment to transparency, alignment, and meaningful engagement with you as leaders. I want to thank the staff for their dedication and preparation for today's session, and I look forward to a productive and forward-looking conversation. If you're not already registered for Outlook for Tech, I encourage you to register today for NC Tech's first signature event of the year, which will be a fast-paced, content-rich experience where innovation, insight, and industry intelligence meet. You'll hear executive panel discussions, predictions, keynote, the highly anticipated release of the annual State of Technology Industry Report, known as NC STIR, and more. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Brooks, NC Tech's President and CEO. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian, for setting the stage for us, and more importantly, for your leadership as chair over these past 2 years. Before we dive in, I want to take a moment to introduce some of the members of our team. NC Tech has a small but very dedicated staff who work every day to support North Carolina's tech sector, our members, and one another in delivering value and impact. You can meet the full team on our website under the About tab. Our staff leadership will be presenting today, and many of you already know them. Michelle Calton is our Senior Vice President of Strategy and Operations. Tracy Sternberg is Vice President of Programming and Sponsorship. Andrea Fleming is Director of Talent and Workforce Development, and Jana Barilli is Director of Finance and Technology. Before we move into the meat of the program, a few quick notes. For those joining us live, please feel free to drop a quick hello in the chat so we know who you are and where you're calling in from. And as we move through the briefing, you can submit questions using the Q&A function, and we'll plan to address some of those toward the end of the call if time permits. And finally, please note that today's briefing is being recorded so that leaders who are unable to join us live can catch up. The recording will be shared directly with members of the Board of Directors and Board of Advisors and will not be posted or shared publicly. With that, we'll get started. Michelle, I'll turn it over to you to share a bit about NC Tech's leadership groups and why we've added these leadership briefings.
Michelle, you're on mute.
Sorry about that for the technical glitch. Thank you, Brooks. First, for clarity, I'd like to take a moment to just explain the distinction between our two leadership groups. The Board of Directors is the organization's governing body. Directors serve up to 3-year terms, which can be continued and are guided by an executive committee. Most recently, the board established a personnel committee and a strategic planning task force. The board meets in person twice a year and commits to supporting the association with time, talent, and financial investment. Our bylaws allow for up to 45 members of the board of directors. The Board of Advisors is an advisory council that has launched more than 10 years ago to allow each member company or organization to designate an individual to serve. Advisors receive special benefits, recognition, and networking opportunities. They provide input on how the association delivers value, including the introduction of new offerings. Nearly 1/3 of our members are represented on the board of advisors, which now is about 200 individuals. We're excited about the mix of experience and diversity and perspectives that each of you brings to NC Tech. On behalf of our team, we're delighted to introduce these leadership briefings as a way to keep you more closely connected to the work and impact of the association. These briefings will take place twice a year, a kickoff briefing like today's session and a mid-year briefing in July. Today's kickoff briefing is designed to do three things: provide a high-level look at the results of the past year, to outline our strategic priorities for the year ahead, and to highlight specific opportunities for leadership engagement. The mid-year briefing will focus on progress from the first half of the year, preview initiatives coming up towards the end of the year, and continue to surface ways for leadership to be involved in advancing our strategic priorities. The objectives behind adding these briefings are simple but important: to create stronger alignment around association priorities, to increase transparency around performance, to share progress, challenges, opportunities, and most importantly, to make it easier for you to engage in meaningful ways. We want these to be working sessions, not just updates. So please jump in with questions, ideas, and perspectives as we move forward. Let's start with a high-level look back on 2025. Brooks?
Thanks, Michelle. Give me 1 second while my script resets itself. It kind of got glitchy on me. All right. Thanks for that background too on the difference between the two groups. A lot of people get confused about that, but it's great to have such a large cohort of people in our membership who provide guidance and advice as well as governing responsibility. So in 2025, there was a bit of a challenging environment, but the team did deliver across multiple fronts, which I'll go over. From a governance and leadership perspective, we added 12 new board members to the board of directors. We had a lot of transitions from retirement, people changing companies in some cases. So more than 1/3 of our current board is new as of this past year. This was an important step in strengthening engagement, diversity, and long-term leadership capacity for the association. Membership is always a top priority throughout the year, with a dual focus on retention and new acquisition. We also brought on two new membership staff members about a year ago, which meant much time was focused on training and onboarding in 2025. Retention proved to be particularly challenging last year, with the loss of several larger technology companies, primarily due to budget constraints and leadership transitions. Importantly, those organizations remain in our sales pipeline, and we're actively working to re-engage them when the timing is right. In fact, Microsoft just came back on board as a good example of this, and others are in discussions. On the acquisition side, while we didn't fully reach our annual membership sales goal, we welcomed more than 150 new member companies and organizations and achieved 86% of our revenue target. Our signature events continue to anchor the year's calendar, from Outlook for Tech at the beginning of the year to our annual award celebration at the end, delivering strong brand visibility, high-quality programming, and consistent sponsorship value. While the first half of 2025 was challenging on attendance and sponsorship depth, the second half saw several signature events exceed goals. The Golf Classic was sold out, and along with the Leadership Summit and the Summit for Women in Tech, they also outperformed targets for those events. At the end of the year, our team successfully pivoted the NC Tech Awards event location because of the fire at the Raleigh Convention Center with about a week's notice. So big kudos to Tracy Sternberg and the team for continuing with the scheduled date and working with a new venue in such a short time frame, with rave reviews on the staging and the execution from those who were able to attend. In addition to signature events, we offer a wide array of programs and networks, a mix of in-person and virtual, with some content-rich, others just networking. Overall, in 2025, the NC Tech team delivered just over 100 activities, with more than 8,000 registrations. Our partnership with MetLife remained a cornerstone of our talent and research work, supporting workforce initiatives, research efforts, and the continued development of talent pipelines. I'd like to give a special thank you to Andrea Fleming for leading the MetLife partnership, which does require a significant amount of her time and talent. In communications, we strengthened our communications and marketing efforts by expanding reach, refining our message, and amplifying team stories across channels. Mid-year, we experienced a transition in our communications and marketing manager role. However, we were able to maintain continuity by transitioning Alex Taylor, who was already on our team in the programs arena, into that communications position. In financial performance and overall update for you, in 2025, it was a year of resilience. We were focused on stabilizing key functions, as I've touched on, leadership and capacity, which we described, and laying the groundwork for growth in 2026 and beyond. So we'll shift to the new year. I'll pass it back to Michelle, who will start with 2026 plans and priorities.
All right, thanks very much. So now I'd like to walk you through our strategic objectives and what they mean in practical terms for the year ahead. These objectives guide us how we prioritize resources, design programs, and engage our members and leadership. First is membership growth and engagement. Our goal is to grow NC Tech's statewide footprint through more targeted, intentional recruitment strategies while deepening our connection with the members we already serve. Growth alone isn't enough, but we must retain. That means strengthening relationships, improving onboarding practices, and creating more meaningful touch points throughout the year. We're committed to strengthening member services, leveraging offerings that provide exclusive and measurable value, not just access, but impact. Next is our events and programming. Our signature events will continue to anchor the organization. We will focus on producing engaging, high-quality experiences that reflect current trends, emerging technologies, and real opportunities for connection and learning. Beyond signature events, we will continue to evolve our programs based on feedback and market insights. We are paying close attention to the diversity of our portfolio, ensuring a mix of topics, formats, and geographies so that we are meeting members where they are across the state. And finally, our networks, including a few new ones that you'll hear about, will be a major driver for impact, connecting members around shared interests, roles, and challenges. On the talent side, we will continue to strengthen North Carolina's talent pipeline through innovative partnerships and initiatives. On the research side, we'll evolve our offerings based on member feedback and needs of the market, ensuring our data and insights remain timely and actionable. Partnerships can be crucial here. We plan to expand collaborations that amplify member value and increase NC Tech's statewide impact. Another priority is external outreach, which includes advocacy as well as marketing and communications. From an advocacy perspective, we will elevate the visibility of our policy work through annual priorities and proactive communication. At the same time, we will continue telling NC Tech's story through modern strategic marketing and communications, highlighting member success, policy wins, and our role as the voice of the tech sector in North Carolina. Internally, we must also focus on operational effectiveness. That includes a review of our tech platforms and implementing a thoughtful AI strategy to enhance capacity and efficiency. We're also strengthening operations, human resource systems, staff development, because investing in the team ultimately improves the member experience. Importantly, we want to better leverage the expertise of our leadership and members to guide operational improvement. And then financial sustainability underpins everything we do. We will be reviewing our revenue structure, including dues, non-dues, event pricing to ensure competitiveness and long-term sustainability. On the expense side, we will assess and optimize budget allocations to maximize return on investment. We'll review annual investor levels and benefits to better reflect value and engagement. We will also evaluate the future role of the NC Tech Foundation, including potential funding strategies. And then finally, from a leadership engagement perspective, leadership engagement is essential to the success of this strategy. Leadership briefings is a step in the process. We'll continue strengthening governance by creating new committees, improving board recruitment and onboarding, and planning more intentionally for engagement. We want to increase board and advisor participation in key ways like membership growth, event planning, branding and visibility, and association operations. We're focused on strengthening collaboration and communication between staff and leadership. So we are all working as one aligned team. Together, these strategic objectives are designed to strengthen NC Tech's relevance, reach, and impact across North Carolina's tech ecosystem. And as we walk through our 26 plans, you'll see how these priorities translate into specific initiatives and where your leadership and engagement can make the greatest difference. So moving on to membership. Because NC Tech is a membership organization, our success is directly tied to how well we retain, grow, and engage our members. These goals have shared definition of success for the year ahead. Member retention goals. Our target as an association is to retain 83% of membership revenue and 70% of our member companies, organizations, and institutions. These goals recognize two realities. First, that long-term financial stability comes from keeping strong relationships in place. And second, that retention is not just about renewals, it's about ensuring members consistently see value in engagement with NC Tech. Second, member sales goals. We have set a goal of 168,000 in new membership sales, which averages to about 14,000 a month and 200 new members over the course of the year. We're at January 27th, and I'm very happy to report we've had an outstanding January so far. We have more than 30 new members that have joined since January 1st, and we have more than doubled our budgeted goal of 14,000 for the month of January. So it's not atypical for us to have a strong January, but this by far exceeds all the ones that I remember. So hopefully this is a good sign for 2026. For the Board of Advisors program, our goal is 81,000 in renewal advisor dues, 26,000 in new advisor dues. This is important because the advisor program is one of the primary ways members deepen their engagement with the association. Taken together, these goals reinforce that membership growth and retention are not separate from our mission, they are how we sustain it. Strong membership performance allows us to invest in better programs, stronger networks, and greater statewide impact. So now we'll move on to events and programs with Tracy.
Well, good morning. I'm excited to start off with the lineup of 2026 signature events that you see here. But before I walk through each event, I want to share a couple of highlights. First, we've sunsetted 2 signature events. You'll no longer see the State of Technology Exponential or the Diversity and Inclusion, or as we called it last year, the Tech Workforce Summit event. This makes way for a new signature event, which is the first time we've added a new signature event since 2020, and we're very excited to roll out this brand new event. We've made several strategic venue and location changes this year to improve both the member experience and our return on investment. And also, we are going to continue our appreciation dinners for the Board of Directors and Board of Advisors at Pinehurst as part of our Leadership Summit. So now I'll take a couple of minutes to walk you through our signature events for 2026. As was mentioned, these are cornerstone moments when NC Tech convenes the state's technology community, elevates thought leadership, and creates meaningful opportunities for connection and visibility. First, we'll kick off the year with our Outlook for Tech, which will be held February 12th at the Revelry at North End in Charlotte, which is a new venue for us, and we're very excited about this. It's a statewide launch event focused on insights, predictions, and industry intelligence shaping North Carolina's tech landscape. It sets the tone for the year ahead and brings leaders together for forward-looking conversations that will carry into 2026 and beyond. We hope you'll make plans to join us in a couple of weeks. Next up in May, we'll be introducing an entirely new signature event, NC Tech Fest, that will be taking place on May 13th and 14th across downtown Durham in venues including the Durham Convention Center, the Durham Armory, and multiple downtown other locations. The 2-day festival style experience is designed to showcase the full energy of North Carolina's tech ecosystem. TechFest will bring together founders, creators, and executives to explore what's next while celebrating innovation, talent, and community in a more immersive way than a traditional conference. In August, we'll return to Pinehurst for 2 back-to-back signature experiences. On August 5th, we'll host our annual Golf Classic, which continues to be one of our strongest relationship building events. It brings together technology and business leaders for a day that blends competition, camaraderie, and high-value networking, both on and off the course. Beginning the evening of August 5th and continuing through mid-afternoon August 6th, we'll host our Leadership Summit, also in Pinehurst. This is a more intimate executive level gathering designed for candid conversations and strategic thinking. Over 2 days, senior leaders will engage in high impact dialogue that sparks fresh ideas and meaningful connections in a setting that encourages openness and depth. This event is hosted by our board of directors and board of advisors, so we will host our leadership groups for a special appreciation dinner as part of the event. In September, we're moving the Summit for Women in Tech to a new destination. We're going to Asheville. We'll be hosting this event at the Renaissance Asheville downtown on September 28th and 29th. This women-only summit brings together technology leaders from across the region for authentic conversation, peer connection, and leadership development. The goal is to create space for meaningful dialogue around advancement, challenges, and opportunity for women in technology. This event has grown to over 400 women from across the state, and we hope you'll join us. As we close the year, in November, we'll be hosting our NC Tech Awards celebration. We are hopefully locking in the venue and the date today, as a matter of fact, so fingers crossed there, but more to come there. This is the state's largest technology awards event and a powerful moment to recognize innovators, leaders, and organizations driving North Carolina's tech success. It's both a celebration and a showcase of the impact happening across our ecosystem. Across all of these events, our focus is not just convening, but on creating platforms for leadership engagement, visibility, and statewide impact. One of the strengths of NC Tech is the breadth of ways members and leaders can engage, from high-level executive experiences to accessible statewide networking and virtual learning. At the executive level, we offer several executive opportunities. These include our annual event at the Governor's Mansion, which brings together state leadership and tech CEOs. We're planning to host this again in February and are just pending on a date where the mansion is available, and we hope the governor is too. We will host CIO, CISO, and CTO, say that 5 times fast, receptions and curated executive dinners, as well as quarterly roundtables. These are designed to create trusted, high-impact environments and relationship building and strategic conversations. We also host our popular Brews and Bites series. These are informal networking events with strong statewide reach and consistently high attendance. They're free for members and their guests, making them one of the most accessible entry points into NC Tech. In addition, we're offering a growing portfolio of virtual programs. These include information sessions on timely topics such as content-driven workshops presented by our members, allowing them to showcase expertise while sharing practical knowledge with peers across the state. NC Tech staff also provides virtual sessions that include Get to Know NC Tech, Digital 101, and previews of some of our offerings. Finally, we have a set of other activities that reflect our values and broader impact. This includes our digital drive, which promotes responsible electronics recycling, and our foundation fundraisers, such as the Executive Auction, which support workforce and education initiatives. Together, this mix of executive experiences, community networking, virtual learning, and mission-driven activities ensures there are multiple ways for members to engage, regardless of role, geography, or stage of career, and reinforces NC Tech as both a business resource and a connector for North Carolina's tech ecosystem. All right, we touched a little on the networks, but one of the ways NC Tech creates value is by bringing leaders together in focused communities or networks based on role, issue area, geography, or shared experience. First is our executive networks. As I mentioned, we offer peer communities for senior technology leaders, including CIOs, CISOs, CTOs, and tech CEOs. These groups provide a trusted forum to share challenges, exchange best practices, and stay ahead of emerging trends in technology and business leadership. These networks meet quarterly as a virtual roundtable and in person through periodic reception and executive dinners. Secondly, we have our issues networks. These are organized around key topic areas shaping the industry. We'll soon be launching a responsible AI network, which will focus on practical, ethical, and policy considerations around AI adoption. We also have a government vendor network supporting companies that work in the public sector. In addition, we are relaunching our cybersecurity network, introducing a new talent network focused on workforce skills and pipeline issues. Third, our regional network. This year, we're launching a Charlotte Collaborative Network, which will bring together leaders and companies in the Charlotte market for more regular engagement, programming, and relationship building at the local level. And finally, our demographic networks. These are designed to support and elevate specific communities within the tech ecosystem. This includes our long-standing Women in Tech Network and our newly launched Young Tech Professionals Network, or YTPN, which is focused on early career talent and future leaders. Together, these networks create multiple on-ramps for engagement, whether someone is looking for peer learning, issue-based collaboration, regional connection, or professional development. These also help us build stronger communities within the broader NC Tech membership and ensure that we are serving leaders at every stage of their career. Now I'll pass it along to Andrea.
Thanks, Tracy. So now on to a few 2026 highlights for talent and workforce development. As Michelle mentioned, we're now in our third year collaborating with MetLife on the Center for Technology Workforce Innovation, and our momentum just continues to build. This partnership has helped us expand our reach through social media engagement, program and event participation, and deeper talent content for members and the broader NC Tech audience, all focused on strengthening North Carolina's tech workforce pipeline. A major emphasis this year will be on early career professionals, creating opportunities for growth and connection across the state. As Tracy also mentioned, new for 2026, we're launching a talent network. The goal is to connect employers, educators, and workforce development partners through quarterly roundtable meetings to support collaboration on tech talent. Really excited about how this will complement our existing programs and amplify our reach. So next, on to NC Tech Research. I want to share what's new with STIR, our State of the Technology Industry Report. After more than a decade, the STIR website has been completely redesigned for a cleaner, more modern experience. We've also refreshed the key findings report, making the data easier to navigate and understand because we keep adding new data points. This year, we've expanded the analysis to include new data points on military and veteran participation in the tech workforce, a really important addition for a more complete picture of our state's talent landscape. So the 2026 STIR will debut at Outlook for Tech on February 12th, followed by a secondary briefing in Wilmington on March 4th. And finally, a brief look ahead at our IT job trends. The January data, which will be released in February, will introduce several new metrics, including occupation demographics, women in tech representation, and occupation diversity by gender. So these enhancements continue to deepen our understanding of who makes up the North Carolina's tech workforce and where opportunities for growth remain. Overall, these updates reflect our shared commitment to advancing our position as a leader in technology talent development and look forward to member engagement in all of these areas. So I'm not Alex, but I will cover our marketing and communications efforts. We're all centered on expanding our reach, driving growth, and strengthening NC Tech's visibility as North Carolina's technology leader. So under reach, we're really focused on expanding our digital presence through data and AI by leveraging tools like Google Analytics, AI, and targeted content strategies We'll grow website traffic, social audiences, and campaign effectiveness. We're also streamlining communications by refining email outreach, improving message alignment, and coordinating content across campaigns. To measure this progress more effectively, we'll establish marketing KPIs and dashboards that track performance year over year. Moving to growth, we'll expand new engagement platforms while maximizing impact through our existing channels. We'll refresh and expand NC Tech Connect, enhancing content usability and those opportunities for peer-to-peer, member-to-member engagement. And with support from our communications partner Wireside, we'll position NC Tech as the state's tech authority, using research insights and proactive media outreach to elevate statewide visibility and earned media presence. And finally, under leadership visibility, we're going to amplify storytelling and member voice through video, blog, and long-form content that highlights NC Tech's impact and member expertise across the ecosystem. As part of that effort, we'll launch an NC Tech podcast featuring association leaders, members, and industry experts to showcase the tangible value of our programs and the broader strength of North Carolina's tech community. Together, these initiatives advance our shared goal of growing NC Tech's reach, deepening member engagement, and reinforcing our role as the voice of technology in North Carolina. Now on to Jana. She'll share some insights on operational effectiveness and financial management. Jana?
Thank you, Andrea. So operational effectiveness is about making sure our internal systems and team capacity can support the growth and complexity of our association. This year, we're going to be looking at our tech platforms. We're going to conduct a full review of our current technology stack and work toward greater consolidation of software where possible. The goal is to reduce redundancy, improve integration between systems, and make it easier for staff to do their jobs efficiently without jumping between too many tools. Our website in 2026, we are launching a new standalone website for our State of Tech Industry Report, or NC STIR, as you all more likely know it. This will improve accessibility, storytelling, and long-term value of that research. At the same time, we will begin laying the groundwork for a broader NC Tech website refresh in 2027. This includes thinking about structure, content strategy, and functionality so that when we move forward, it is driven by purpose rather than urgency. Data quality and process efficiency. We are placing increased emphasis on improving the quality of our data and the consistency of our processes. This means clearer records, better reporting, and more clearly documented workflows, especially around membership programs and events. This will enable us to make decisions that are informed by reliable information and to use our staff time more effectively. And finally, we know that operational effectiveness is not just about systems, it's about people. We will continue to invest in team development, shared learning, and cross-training in an effort to provide staff with tools, confidence, and support to manage growing programs while maintaining a strong culture of collaboration and accountability. Together, these efforts strengthen our foundation so we can scale thoughtfully, improve service to members, and position our association for long-term sustainability. I'd like to go ahead now and touch on our finance and reporting priorities. This area is focused on strengthening how we manage, report, and communicate our financial performance for improving clarity, consistency, and decision-making. Our reporting, we're working toward clearer and more consistent financial reporting that better reflects how the association operates. This includes improving how we recognize our income and expenses, and categorize them so that we can create more visual summaries of revenue, sources, and spending, and develop reports that are easier for both staff and leadership to understand and use for decision making. Our goal is to present this in a simple visual format using pie charts and similar reports that are commonly used by peer associations and other nonprofit organizations. Second, our annual investors. We want to ensure that we're accurately identifying and appropriately recognizing our annual investors based on total engagement and spend across dues, sponsorships, and programs. This will allow us to be more intentional in how we foster those relationships and communicate the value of their investment in NC Tech. Collections of dues and non-dues revenue. We will continue to tighten our processes around the collection of both membership dues and non-dues revenue. The goal is to improve timeliness, reduce manual tracking, and create clearer visibility into what's been invoiced, what's been collected, what is outstanding, so we can manage our cash flow more proactively. And finally, our Education Foundation. We're formalizing a clearer budget for the Education Foundation so that it better reflects both current commitments and future growth opportunities. This will allow for more strategic discussion surrounding foundation resources and how they're used, how we raise funds, and how the foundation supports the broader mission of the association. Together, these efforts strengthen our financial management practices, improve transparency, and position our association for more sustainable growth. Back to you, Michelle.
Make sure I'm not on mute. Okay, well, thank you to my colleagues. I think you all can see that we have a very busy year ahead of us, and we could use your help. So let's share some ways that you, as our board and advisors, can help and get more involved in areas that match your expertise and interests. So how can the leadership get more involved? One of our goals this year is to make it easier and clearer for you to engage in ways that are meaningful for you and impactful to the association. So first and foremost, membership growth through referrals and introductions. Your personal networks are one of the most powerful tools for us to grow. Simple introductions to peers, partners, or companies who would benefit from being part of NC Tech helps us expand our community and keep it strong and relevant. Branding and visibility. We welcome your help in amplifying NC Tech's work, whether that's sharing our content, representing the association at industry events, helping position NC Tech as the voice of the tech sector. Are you interested in being a podcast guest when we launch that this year? Event planning and promotion. There are many ways to engage here, from helping shape program topics to suggesting speakers, inviting colleagues to attend. Your involvement strengthens both the content and the audience. Providing space to host an activity. We host more than 100 different activities a year. Some are virtual, some are in person, some are at big venues. But if your company has space available, hosting a meeting, a program, or networking event is a simple and highly valuable way to support our work and bring folks together locally. Active involvement in events, programs, and networks. We encourage you to participate directly by attending programs, joining a network, serving as a mentor or speaker, and helping guide conversations within your expertise area. Talent. Your knowledge and experience are tremendous assets. This means serving on a committee or task force, advising staff on strategy, contributing subject matter expertise to programs, research, or initiatives are all good ways to also collaborate with our staff. And then financial support through sponsorship. Sponsorships help make our programs and initiatives possible, whether supporting an event, a network, or specific program. These investments directly advance the work of the association and expand our impact. Our goal is not for everyone to do everything, but for each of you to find one or two meaningful ways to align and engage with your interests, your capacity, and your organization's priorities. Together, those individual contributions add up to tremendous collective impact. We will send you a short survey after the call today when we have the recorded version of this to share, and it will include some opportunities that you can let us know are of interest to you. We will also send you a target list on membership prospects if you'll take a look at that and note any of the companies that you might be able to help with an introduction or connection. So this now concludes the content we've prepared for you as part of the kickoff briefing. We'd like to now move on to dialogue for your questions and comments. And I think we're going to utilize the Q&A in the platform.
Michelle, there is one question there, and that is, can you share a bit about the new Responsible AI Network?
That is very new. So I'm gonna pass that over to Tracy because there is an outstretch of the event that we hosted last week in Charlotte. We had an AI program with 150 people and a small cadre of folks that really want to get involved in this.
So yeah, this actually came out of a panel discussion that we held at last year's Summit for Women in Tech. And so a group of women have sort of gathered to continue the dialogue around responsible AI and specifically around women being a part of that and being part of the conversation to build responsible AI strategy and tools within their organizations and just more broadly. So we did host a conversation last week at the event Michelle just alluded to. There is a LinkedIn group that I can share with you if you would like to join that LinkedIn group as the initial phase. But we are in the process of formalizing this a bit more and broadening it. So we've so NC Tech is sort of the convener and connector in terms of this responsible AI program. So more to come. I know that's a very high level answer, but there is more to come, and we will share that LinkedIn group with you in case you are interested in joining in the short term.
Thank you, Tracy. We didn't have any additional questions submitted. Happy to follow up with anybody. All of our staff are reachable through the staff page on our website, so you can contact us that way to follow up with observations or questions or offers to help. So as we wrap up, thank you again for your leadership, investment, and belief in NC Tech. Thank you, Michelle and others, for putting this together today and putting all the content in kind of a easy to follow fashion. We're building something special together, and 2026 is shaping up to be a pivotal year. After the call, as was noted, you'll receive the slides and recording, calendar of some priority dates, a follow-up survey, as Michelle noted. I would issue a challenge. I would like to see really strong representation at the Outlook for Tech event from our volunteer boards, both the board of directors and the board of advisors. So register for yourself or encourage those who are in your organization and are eligible to register at the member rate to do so that your organization is represented there. Please stay engaged. Reach out anytime. You can see our team here. We look forward to working closely with you this year to make NC Tech stronger than ever. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.